Airbnb. Beer tourism was becoming big business, and we were sitting on a little gold mine. We had converted 4 bedrooms above the brewery into guest rooms in an attempt to pull in another revenue stream in the form of beer travel. Each room design was inspired by the 4 elements of beer: hops, grain, yeast, and water. We had started renovations in November, but then the holiday season hit and put us behind schedule. Our goal was to officially open next weekend, just in time for Leavenworth's annual Bavarian IceFest, but we had decided to start with a soft opening in advance of officially launching our new project. Just yesterday, we had welcomed our first guests, a young couple in town celebrating their anniversary. It seemed like a good idea to test the waters before we made the space available to more guests.
Look, I don't want to play games with you, man. Is this a money issue? Consider that a deposit.
He nodded at the stack of hundreds.
There's plenty more where that came from. I'm willing to fork out more even if this is a glorified Airbnb, because I'm not having my ladies sleep out in the cold.
He glanced behind him and shot a lewd look at the 2 women waiting near the front door. I shuddered at his condescending use of ladies.
Look, I'm a VP. A VP at a major ad agency that works with all the tech giants in Seattle. You've probably heard of Scream Time?
Everyone in the PNW had heard of Scream Time. The irreverent ad agency was known for in-your-face ad campaigns that pushed every moral boundary. It was no surprise that Kev worked for the company. He puffed out his chest and took out a vape pen.
I'll make it worth your while to have us stay. I know powerful people in the digital industry. A review of this place from me will get you noticed by the Jet Set.
The Jet Set? Who was this guy?
Hey, there's no smoking or vaping in here.
Garrett held up a finger to the pompous VP.
Lame.
He stuffed the vape pen back in his pocket.
Give us a minute and we'll see what we can do about rooms.
Garrett pulled me over to the far corner of the bar.
What do you think, Sloan?
I shrugged. It's your call. I can get the rooms ready. They're basically done. I just need to get some linens and towels. I'm sure Lisa must be in a jam if she sent him to us, but remind me to thank her later. I rolled my eyes. He sure seems like a gem.
Trust me, I know the type. He's one of 3,000 VPs. We used to call them VPs of ass-kicking. Guys like that are the reason I live here now.
Garrett had recently moved to our Bavarian utopia after working in Seattle for decades. He had ditched city life to run a nano brewery in the remote northern Cascades. It had been quite a lifestyle change, but one that he had adapted to seamlessly. I chuckled. If nothing else, we can take his money.
My thoughts exactly. And in some ways, if we can put up with Mr. VP and his pals for the weekend, we really have an official soft opening test. As much as I hate to admit it, we're going to have to learn how to handle this type once we open the guest rooms. It's not like we can ask people if they're entitled jerks when they make a reservation.
I don't know. Maybe I should formulate some kind of screening test. I was hopeful that guys like the one waiting impatiently at the end of the bar wouldn't choose Nitro's rustic guest rooms. One of the things I liked most about working in the brewery was the low-key vibe and relaxed atmosphere. The space was casual, welcoming, and a good spot to savor one of our signature pints for an afternoon. But Garrett raised a fair point. We were about to branch into the hospitality business, and that meant interacting with a variety of customers. I was a professional. I could deal with the VP. Why don't you get them beers to tide them over, and I'll go check on the rooms? I retied my long black ponytail and rolled up the sleeves to my Nitro hoodie.
What would I do without you, Sloan?
Garrett patted my shoulder.
You're one of a kind.
Don't forget it. I winked and left Garrett to deal with the skiers. Nitro is the smallest brewery in the village, with a tasting room and bar in the front, a commercial kitchen, and our brewing operations in the back. It originally belonged to Garrett's great-aunt, Tess, who used the space as a diner and guest house. Upstairs,